Hey, what's up, everyone? Hope everyone is doing good. Sorry that my capture card isn't registering as full screen for my Xbox 360. Everything is set as full screen. So it's full screen on my monitor. So everything I'm seeing on my PC monitor is full screen. In front of me on my game output view, but on my desktop, on my capture card, on my PC, it doesn't look full screen. Let me move my camera down a little more so I can make it. I'm trying to make it more centered. I'm put it down a little more because my light's in the background. So yeah, guys, it's just not going to be centered. I don't know why, but maybe I got to put it more this way, guys, to make it centered. Okay, guys, I think that's a little better, guys. Now it's a little more centered. So tonight we are checking out my church's. Why is my headset mute again, guys? Why is it mute again? Sorry, guys. For some reason, my headset was muted through OBS Studios. Oh, sorry, guys. Let me make a new video. Okay, everyone. Had to make a new video because I accidentally had my mic slash aux unmute, which is my built-in PC mic for my laptop. So now we're using just my headset microphone. I don't know why it looks full screen perfect on my monitor for my capture card output, but for my capture card input, it looks um it looks like this. So the controller options I have are my original Xbox 360 white, which I like this one just because the buttons are not sunken in, so it's a bit easier to play. But this is the OG Xbox controller. This one in my hand is also an OG Xbox controller, as you can see. So the case is custom. The joysticks are metal chrome. The D-pad is plastic. Trigger buttons are plastic. So before you ask, yes. Sorry guys, it just disconnected. Let me see if I can reconnect it. So yes, as you can see here, this part up here, there's triggers and paddles. The triggers are red, but the reason why you see black right there is just because I couldn't figure out. Sorry, guys. The reason why that part is black is because I couldn't figure out the other piece for this, which came with the shell, was a two-part piece, not a one-part piece, and I couldn't figure out how to connect it, so I just stuck with this one. And now I lost the red piece somewhere, and I don't know what ever happened to it. So these ones, the buttons, since the metal chrome joysticks are half an like a tiny bit longer than the main plastic joysticks, that makes the button sunken in. So first of all, we're gonna go through the profiles on this Xbox. This is an original white Xbox 360 with the removable faceplate, the removable hard drive, and everything. So the first profile with 438 gigs used is Beach, which was our old church's children's director. Drizzle 247 with 5,925 gigs was one of my friends and youth members. Dooney with 414 gigs was our old youth pastor. I don't remember who Golden Boy and Gordy belonged to. John M would have had to have been our old college pastor. Would have had to been our old college pastor there. And then, so PCC Youth, I don't know. Okay, so now they're loading. PCC Youth, what with 3,779 gigs. This was our Xbox Live account. Even it's funny we had an Xbox Live account when the original Xbox doesn't work with Wi-Fi. You have to plug it into a cable, and we never had Wi-Fi in our youth room. The main church Wi-Fi, never the main church's Wi-Fi for the office or the sanctuary and fellowship hall never worked in our youth room because it was so far away from the routers. And I think the Wi-Fi for our children's ministries never worked upstairs either due to distance and stuff. So we never actually had Wi-Fi in our youth room. But we used to have a router at one point. Yes, at one point, yes, we did have an internet router in our youth room's office, which was right across the hall from the youth room. At one point, we had a router in there plugged into the like a random Ethernet cable in the wall, which produced internet. So we had a router plugged into that, and then we just had like a very long, like 50-foot Ethernet cable that was like old and damaged, but we used that Ethernet cable to plug it into our Xbox when you want it to be on the internet. Doesn't make sense, but that's how we got internet. So PCC Youth was our Xbox Live account. PCC Youth 2 was our backup account that didn't have Xbox Live. Sued Fiend 3644 is my personal account with 1,330 gigs. And that's just the standard it gave me. And that name, I did not create that. I think that was like one they randomized me. And then Taco Lover was one of our other youth leader pastors who was related to our one of our original Sunday church pastors. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 profiles on here. Let's start with the first profile and go from before to see what's on here, guys. So this feels like I watch a person on YouTube named Jacob R who buys a lot of used consoles from places, and then he goes on them, checks what's on them, then he resells them for money. So if I go to my games, this one has just FIFA 10 demo on it. That's all it has on this profile. For apps, Groove Music, Windows Media Center, Picture Viewer, System Video Player, Music. And before you ask, yes, I have this plugged in at my desk to an Ethernet cable to have internet. Oh, there's actually music on here. There's actually music on this Xbox. That's crazy. Give me 1 minute, guys. I don't know why there's not internet. I don't know why there's no audio, guys. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to quickly pause the video. I'll be right back. I'm going to get another HDMI cable if I can find one, because unfortunately, there's no audio. When I play the music, you're not hearing any audio when I'm doing anything, so it could be a problem with the HDMI cable. So I'm going to pause the video super quick, see if I can find an extra HDMI cable, and I'll be right back, guys. Give me a quick minute. And don't mind the black screen for the broadcast, guys. I will be right back. I will be right back. Please forgive me. And we'll be right back in just a minute. back on the live stream. Give me a quick second. I just switched out the HDMI cable and I'm getting no signal, guys. Please give me a minute, guys. Let me go check and see if it'll work, guys. Okay, guys. I don't think this HDMI cable is working. Let me go see if I have one in my PC bag. I might have a spare one in my PC bag somewhere. I don't know why. Okay, guys. Something's messed up with the HDMI cable, guys. It is an issue with the HDMI cable, guys. I just checked it is the HDMI cable. And I don't know why, but my PC bag surprisingly smells. And before you ask, no, it's not a good smell. I don't know why it smells, but it does. I know I have HDMI cables somewhere, but do I know where? No. So give me a minute, guys. I'm trying to figure out where I have some spare HDMI cables. Let me go test out this gray one real quick and see if it'll work. If it doesn't work, I'm at a loss for words, guys. I have a lot of HDMI cables somewhere, but I have no idea where they're at, guys. So let me try this gray cable real quick and see if it'll work because I don't. The ones I usually use, I can't find. This one plugs in fine, guys, but the cables that I've been using for my capture card setup back when I was playing my PS2, I can't find those cables, unfortunately. If this gray cable works, I'd be happy because my 15-foot HDMI cable that I was using for my setup was working fine, but it just wasn't giving me audio. So my 15-foot cable I was using, I got it to work with video, but it wasn't giving me audio for my game. So you couldn't hear what I was doing, and not having audio isn't good. So as you can see, guys, well, I can see it, but you can. There's a lot of dirt, dust, and hair on my floor right in front of my desk. I know that I had two HDMI cables that I brought to my partner's house when I was staying there for a while, but I don't know what happened to them, guys. So I unfortunately let me go check my let me go check my living room super quick, guys. Give me 1 minute, guys. I'll go to my living room and get my small cable. Give me 1 minute. Okay, everyone. I don't know what's going on, but something is happening with the Xbox 360. I had it working perfectly with my 15-foot HDMI cable I was using, but I wasn't able to get audio from it for some reason. I haven't been on this console in a while, but I know the last time I was on it, it worked perfectly, except for a small issue with the disk drive. And I know the cable, I know the HDMI cable for my monitor works perfectly because that's the cable I've been using for my setup. And I know that the short HDMI cable that I have running from my console to my capture card works fine too because that's the cable I use in my living room to connect my TV, to connect my laptop to my TV to watch Paramount out there until I can buy a new stream stick remote. So I just temporarily unplugged my capture card real quick. Let me go start it real quick and see if I can reconnect it real quick. Go to my capture card program. Remove it real quick. Go back. Excuse me, I burp. Don't mind, guys. That's my built-in laptop's camera. So, guys, unfortunately, when I have it set, I restarted it and I have it set to full screen, and it basically just says no signal. So, unfortunately, guys, I think I'm gonna call it quits for tonight until I can find an extra HDMI cable tomorrow because it has to be something with the HDMI cable. So, guys, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to plug in my HDMI cable for my monitor directly into my Xbox to see if it'll work with video and audio real quick. So I plugged in the HDMI cable for my monitor directly into my Xbox and it's working, guys. So, okay, guys, give me 1 minute, guys. I have to fix my camera real quick, guys, because my capture card needs to be above my camera. So let's move my capture card under my webcam. So, guys, I'm going to restart the Xbox super quick. It could be all of this, all of my issues could be a simple compatibility issue with the power cord that I'm using, as it's not the official gray cable that came with the power cord. I'm just using a black cable that's commonly used for desktop towers and computer monitors because that's the only one I could find. And right now, when I just have my HDMI cable plugged directly into my console, all it gave me was just the plain Xbox 360 logo came up, the green and white and gray logo popped up on the screen, but then nothing else is popping up. So unfortunately, it's not plugged into my capture card at the moment. So it could be a compatibility with the power cable I'm using. It is the official gray power box, the big giant black power box. This one might be the one that came with my friend's Xbox, because I remember our church power brick that I had was gray. But I don't know what that gray one is, unfortunately. So for now, okay guys, we're back. So the Xbox 360 took a long time to boot up, but we're back. So I'm gonna try and plug in my capture card again and see if it'll work, guys. So let's disconnect the HDMI cable from the back of my Xbox real quick. Let's plug in the HDMI cable for the capture card real quick. Plug in my alternate HDMI cable for my capture card. And let's plug in the monitor cable back into my capture card. So it took a ridiculously long time to connect my console, but hopefully it's gonna connect for me, guys. So unfortunately, at the moment, guys, I'm not getting any signal right now. I saw my Xbox pop up on my computer monitor when I had it plugged in directly into my console, but now it's not working for some reason. I don't know why. It could be issues with the HDMI cables, but as I'm saying, I know the HDMI cables that I'm using for my monitor works just fine because I use it for my monitor and I know it works. And I know the HDMI cable, the short HDMI cable that I have, I know that that works because it's the HDMI cable that I use with my TV in my living room. There's one other HDMI cable that I'm going to try super quick. I have an HDMI cable that I have plugged in to my backup monitor. Let me see if I can unplug it real quick, guys. Let me see if I can get back here without taking off the headset. So I have a secondary HDMI cable that's connected into my desktop tower back here. That's the cable that I use for my to plug my backup monitor into my desktop tower. And I know this cable works because I use it on my PC all the time with my desktop setup. So let's plug the HDMI cable into my back of my Xbox. This is a very uncomfortable position to be in. Now let's plug that in, sit down, and let's plug this cable into my capture card and hope it's going to work for me. So guys, I am at a loss for words right now. I really don't know why this is happening because I plugged everything in correctly. Wait, I know why it's not working. That's the output. I am. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Why does it say format not supported? So the reason why it wasn't working is because when I unplugged my cables, I had the cable going from my Xbox into my capture card plugged in. I had the cables reversed. The input cable was plugged into the output jack, and the output jack was plugged into the input jack. So the reason why it wasn't working is because I had it plugged into the wrong jacks. So I have it plugged in to the correct jacks now, and it should be working now. But when I so it should be working now, as you guys can see. But when I check this, guys, it says format not supported, meaning it's not registering with my Xbox for some reason. Now, I don't think it's an issue with the capture card. Now it's just an issue with, I don't know what the issue is because my Xbox 360 is plugged into my capture card here. So let me unpause the video, guys. So unpause the video, guys. I tried a bunch of other HDMI cables, but then eventually I'm like, why isn't this working? And then it was an issue with I accidentally plugged the input cable into the output jack and the output cable into the input jack. So that was a whoopsie moment on my part. But now it's working. I can see it on the monitor, but it's saying format is not supported on my OBS Studios. You see format not supported, but if I go here, it's on the default resolution. If I go to custom, only resolutions that custom has to offer is a 1920 by 1080, a 1080 by 720, and a 640 by 480. So, guys, when I switch the resolution on here, you saw my Xbox for a split second.